Yo, what up? It's your boy Average Roller Coaster Enthusiast, back with episode 2 of the Tiny Park build series. I am hyped on how this is coming out. Just finished episode 3. It is in the works. However, right now we're on episode 2. And we're going to be finishing the entrance for this park. Right now, I am trying to make the front entrance a little bit more interesting for viewing pleasures. Give it a little bit more angles. You know, the more angles, the more interesting. That's what I always say. Continuing the theming along with those bamboo trim pieces. And I really thought that the guild roof works for the middle piece of this entrance. It kind of just brings it all to a nice point where, you know, it's starting to look like a real park entrance. And we're going to be adding the trim all along the entrance here, if I can get the angle correct. To our nice little thatch roof entrance. And here we're going to be finishing up the trim on our little grow room, our palm grow room. In this episode, we are going to start building other buildings, kind of finishing out the back side of this entrance. What you see once you come into the park. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Ooh. I'm not even gonna mute that or edit that out. Sorry for all the years. This is what we call a family production, so what you see is what you get, really. And looking back at this, that entrance is really, really popping with those colors. Loving those wall pieces, finishing out the trim. Of course they don't have a backside. They wouldn't do that. Make it that easy for me, huh? They honestly should have the same print on the backside. I had the same thought building this thing. Like, come on. And for some reason that wasn't coming out good with the angle, but we figured it out. There is a bunch of weird things going on in this game that I don't quite understand. I have found workarounds, which is nice, but sometimes I click a button and I'm like, what did I just do? What the heck? I'm sure you guys feel the same way. So I am kind of just thinking about how I'm gonna fill out this building. I'm gonna reuse some of these windows. Like I said in the last episode, these windows are sick. They really did a nice job on the shading. And for some reason I'm like, why does this look a little bit bigger? But looking back, it's the trim. That's why. You know, I've been enjoying this format, kind of building out in not talking and then kind of coming back and viewing it and then commentating on it. A few friends said they enjoyed the format, and I enjoy making it so far. What we're doing here is building out the entrance a little bit more, just to kind of bring it together, kind of looking a little plain with just the pavement. So I'm building, a classic entrance with a little booth that you pay at when you come in with your car. Was kind of looking at some reference pictures while doing this, so I had a good idea of what I was going to go with. I just had to figure out how to execute it. So keeping with the theming on the resort pillars, gonna do a thatched roof. Of course, you gotta do the thatched roof. What I'm learning here is you want to do the framing first of these custom buildings. Even, you know, it's gonna make it a lot easier to bring it together. So, you know, I'm working on the framing. It's pretty basic, but it is just a little pavilion for the, I guess you could say, parking booth. So just building that out of the, I believe, resort pillars, if I'm not mistaken. Figuring out how to bring this together. I'm gonna end up using, I believe, the same or similar bamboo trim. Once again, that resizing, or what am I saying? The scaling tool is absolutely incredible. And I'm liking where this is going so far, so I'm going to continue it on. What am I doing here? Let's see. Oh, yep, I remember what I try. I want to make it bigger, because guess what? The coaches got to fit under that thing. And good thing I realized that now, or then when I was building it. I was looking at the coaches, and I was like, yeah, those weren't going to fit under that. And I don't want to make two entrances. I want to make one nice one, and my solution was bring that baby up. Bring it up, make it taller. So I'm thinking about what roof I want to do. I try a flat one, I'm like, not cool enough. So we bring out these awesome pieces. Like I was saying in the last episode, these pieces are not great when you already have a roof that you want to add them to, but for this it worked out perfectly because there was no roof to match them up to. I was just throwing them on there and was going to build off of them. So this was very easy. Kind of like that, but I'm like, we got to add something to the top here. So we get these, what are they called? I guess just roof caps. I really like the look of that. And here I'm, of course, trying to get a piece of the pillar, which I cannot get because of the hitboxes, which I was talking about last episode as well. Hitboxes in this game on the items are really wonky. But, you know, nothing a little search in the old menu won't fix. Adding some supports. I like the way those look. Classic supports. And we're going to do a little bit of base, so we're going to scale that up real big. Sink it way into the ground. Give it a nice pillar. Now that's looking nice. And of course, the fence. This fence really brings everything together in a way I can't really understand. Probably my favorite item in the game right now. I know that's weird to say, a fence is my favorite item, but I'm not going to deny it. So we're going to bring the pavement out a little bit. thinking about how we're going to build this ticket booth, parking booth. So I get these bamboo walls, and I love that they added these into the game. These wall pieces that don't automatically snap to a grid, or have to take it, or like in the first game where we had to place it, remove it from the building, whole shebang. They just go right down. And we went bamboo, of course, sticking with the resort tropical jungle island theme. And I think this came out pretty good for what it was, leaving enough space for the glass pieces. I just feel like in Planet Coaster 2, the custom buildings can come together a lot easier than in the first game. Or maybe I just didn't have enough experience to realize how easy it was, but this game I'm really getting the hang of it. I'm trying to figure out the roof on this bad boy. I end up going with this thatch roof. Right now it does look kind of weird, but I think I bring it together pretty nicely. We'll see how it comes out. Me from the future, I think it comes out pretty well. And again, I am an average enthusiast, so there's nothing screaming perfection over at this channel. That is one habit I have a lot, is just taking a piece from a previous building and just bringing it over. I'm trying to think of like how to base this thing, but I realize if I put the wood going the other way that it would not fit. So sticking with the parking lot theme on this one and giving it a nice concrete base, I think is a good one. And the reference I was using had a planter right in front of the ticket booth. So that's why you see me doing that here. I'm trying to think of what plant would be nice. Of course a palm tree, but like how big do I want it? Do I want to block the window? I mean, it looks good. I think I end up sinking it into the ground a little bit more. Yeah, that's looking better. Getting these glass walls, so glad they finally added these. I mean, some decisions they made, I was a little confused about, like not releasing pieces that was in the first game. I don't understand it, but at least they're really good with updates and making sure they bring back the items that were really popular. And we're just gonna add a nice wall light, sticking with the theme of the entrance with that generic Planet Coaster wall light. Here I get the idea. Oh, which is a great idea. Let's light that up a little bit more. Like I said, that text that in surfs you cannot replicate as much as I know, so let me know. A nice trick I did there, if it was a little bit too fast, you sink the lights into the ground and it gives you the light effect, but you don't see the light. I think I used that a lot in the first game. It's a neat little trick. I think it works for stuff like that where you're trying to illuminate a sign or something like that. Not the most realistic, but I think it comes out pretty good. And I get the idea here to sort of add some shops and facilities on the back side of the entrance. I did it on the first park I made, but this one I think I executed a little bit better. The first one I made was separate buildings, and this one I was like, okay, let's make it a part of the building. I know, a huge revolution that I could have just thought of before, but at least I thought of it now. And we're gonna keep the shops pretty symmetrical on either side. I do love my symmetry. So we put a bathroom on each side. I do switch up the types of restaurants. So we go chief beef, gulpy soda. Over here we go Haya sushi and I believe latte love. Going along with the shops, I think the new shops are cool. I didn't really mind only having a few in the first game, but you know, switch it up. I do like the sushi place, like all the theming for it. I do like the latte theming. I think they did really good with that. And the roof is coming out just so easy when you build on the grid. Nice and fast. And in this episode I do turn off the power setting because the power is just really annoying me. And we're going to cap the building off with a few more wall decorations. We'll see how it works out, but I am now noticing, I think I noticed it after I built it and was like, whatever. I used a bamboo wall instead of the corrugated wall, and you know, it's not the worst look. Definitely doesn't match, but I think once I add all the canopies and here's where I'm like, okay, it's getting too dark. I'm gonna have to do some God playing and turn the lights on in this place. Come on. That is one thing I do like, the weather and the sun settings in this game, the second one. But building it dark, it's just not fun. I don't enjoy it. And I do think the dark lasts a long time in this game. It lasts a very long time. Once again, another great advantage of building on the grid. I can just copy all this, bring it right over, just edit a few pieces where I want them. I'm going to bring that out a little bit, delete, I think, that pillar that's there. Yep, bring that out, and really it's that simple to get the building symmetrical. Here I'm just sort of going back and forth, making sure it looks nice and it matches each other, and we're looking good there. My favorite part about building shops is these little awnings. I don't know what it is about these awnings, but I just love them. It brings the whole thing together in a way that you couldn't do custom. And again, I love that sushi guy. That thing is adorable. Absolutely adorable. Oh, and I forgot. Yep, we got some guest services, so no awning for guest services. So we use the same awning as the ticket booth. They should make a guest services awning. Just saying. Type 1 in the comments if you agree. And honestly, they should make a bigger Chief Beef and Gulpy Soda awning to match the other ones, because these guys just, I gotta do it for the theming because I think it looks cool, but they're just not as big. So you can see me right here looking at them like, what the heck? And there we go, we turn off the power. Nope, I didn't save it. There we go, applied it correctly, and there we go, no more power signs. Filling out this wall, more windows. and I'm loving the look of that. Looking back, I am really loving it. I think it's really cool. And then once again, stamp building out the path. Love the stamp. And at this point, we're kind of just planning out how we're going to do this park. Once you get the entrance down, it's like, okay, where do I go from here? What is it going to look like? So kind of do what everyone might do and build out the path and try to get an idea in my head of what we're going to look like. I think I ended up changing it just a little bit, but not much. Here we're going to go for a building right off the bat just to make it real nice. I've been first build I was using the resort themed buildings pre-made just to get some ideas. So this building is kind of along that line of what you'd find as a blueprint already in the game. So they have like these nice little deck areas. So that's what we're gonna build. Here I am thinking we need more path. I think once people start coming into this park, the line for the food is going to go right into the building. So that's when I move that back. I really don't know what this building's gonna be yet at this point. I mean, future me knows, but me building this, I was like, okay, let's just build out the building and then we'll figure out what's gonna go in it. And you'll see how it comes out. I think it came out good, or else I wouldn't be doing this video right now. And we're gonna build out a frame. I don't know if I'm gonna put a roof on it at this point. I'm kind of gonna go more pergola style on this building. So if any of you are, pergola enthusiasts, you know what I'm talking about here. I wouldn't say I'm a average pergola enthusiast, but I think they look nice. We're gonna add these rope fence pieces. I want the deck area to just be kind of decoration. No one's coming up on that deck. Employees only. So we're going to add some more pillars to the corners. Doing that really helps out the look of the building. I get the genius idea. Doesn't happen often, genius ideas, but to put the path right through. And we're going to make changing rooms. I'll probably make a lot more changing rooms, but I thought that was probably the best. I think in the other one I end up putting toilets in. Or I might change this one. I don't really remember. Adding the thatch roof, because I think the thatch is a good theme. But I always forget that it needs to have the 2mm curve. Or is it 1mm? I think it's 1mm. Or 1 meter. What am I thinking? I'm an idiot. I told you. I'm average. I'm not smart. And I think let's bang out this piece right in the beginning, because this is the most annoying piece to add to these thatch roofs. 2 pieces, easy. At least they're easy to line up. That's looking really good. And now we can just finish up the top, add a corner piece. I didn't even line that up, and I got it first try. Let's go. You gotta add the caps. Caps bring it all together. And boom, we got a rough. And look at that, we end up actually covering up the caps. Didn't see that one coming. Future me is baffled that we'd add a cap and cover it up. But that looks a lot better. Let me take it all back. So, adding more of this piece. Love that piece. Kind of gives it a foundation without having to work real hard at it. Finishing up the rest of the building with this piece. You know, I'm having fun with this park so far. Taking it slower in terms of at least layout. I want to make it really cool. So, you know, in this episode, we get some buildings down. We figure out what we want to do terrain-wise. We get to enjoy me trying to match up the colors again because it's a new day. Didn't save my recent colors, but you know, we get it. Not too hard. And here, I don't know if you noticed that right there, but it reverted color, and I noticed it right there. I said, how the heck, like I said in the beginning, I just click buttons in this game and I'm like, what? Why did that just happen? Looking back, that blue really matches the bathroom tile, which I love. It's a good match. And you know, it's the inside of the building, so we're not going to do much, but we're going to at least make, so if you look inside it, it's going to look finished. It's all about just giving the idea. And here I know all the OCD inside of me is like, please fix that pillar. Thank you so much. That's a finished building for the most part. I'm going to finish out the pergola here. And if, for those of you wondering what a pergola is, that's a pergola right there. So now I'm thinking, what are we going to do on the deck to make it look cool? I see this planter and I'm like, cool planter, but I have a cooler idea for it. I'm thinking more fire pit for that planter, if you know what I mean. You'll see how I do it. We're gonna add a nice palm tree in that planter back there. And then we're gonna resize that smaller. We're gonna get a log piece. And we're going to make some log seats. Gotta get that fire going. One thing about the fire is like, I end up doing this a lot with the effects, but the fire is like, the small one is small and then the medium one is just freaking huge. I don't get it. It's like burning the whole fire pit. We can't have that. So we're gonna put a small guy in there and just duplicate a little bit, and boom, That's looking really cool. So here we do the classic, take a window off of a previously made building, throw it on the new building. These windows I love. The colors are amazing, especially with that fire in front of it. They really did the shading. I mean, they did great. And that's looking really nice. Take these take these windows, put on the back side. Now, I am thinking to myself, what for the other side? I end up copying over the building. Another nice perk of building on the grid. So I'm gonna copy this building over, line it up. Realize I don't have all the pieces, but it's okay. It's not much. So I'm thinking, what are we gonna do here? I am realizing now that those are all changing booths. So I should go in, add some bathrooms in there, because that's what I was planning on. You'll see the signs I put in, and I must have just forgot that I made them all changing booths instead of bathrooms. So we build that out looking good, and now I am making the classic Planet Coaster and trying to think of what the heck do they call the restroom, because it's not restroom and it's not bathroom, it's bubble bomb toilet. Actually no, I get the changing room first, because I type in room. I'm like, what the heck? So now I'm looking like, what are they? Oh yes, of course, the toilet sign. what an amazing name. The toilet sign. And that's looking cool. I'm loving it. I think the entrance area is pretty cool. So now I am really thinking about what we're doing here. Kind of getting the large view, sizing up my idea. Like I said, I want to do an island. So we break ground, man. We break the ground. And we start it up. And nope, just kidding. Now we start it up. And I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too square to be an island, so and that's going to be our general island layout here. I'm going to make the water a little bit bigger. You know, flatten the surface, great tool. And here was just pretty rough, but I ended up putting the water in. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I don't really like the edge for this one, so I go back and I put this one. I think it's okay for now. Might change it. So we're gonna add some sand around all the edges. I think the sand really helped with this island piece. And you know, I'm just doing some visual checks along the way, making sure everything's looking good. I am looking back now, the sand was a good idea. That really gives you, and honestly, I think the sand wasn't in the game when we first got the game, now that I'm thinking about it. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I don't think it was. I think there was just compact dirt. I mean, and one could make a case that sand is just compact dirt, but this is looking real good. Beach vibes all the way around. Now, the fun part. I'm trying to figure out how to use this pathing tool. So we are going for a bridge right in the entrance. Gonna make a good centerpiece to look at when you walk in. And I made a bridge in the last park I made for the what do they call it? Go-kart track. So I made a go-kart track and then had it go over this nice wooden bridge. And it came out really good, so now I'm just thinking, how do we make a bridge with this new path tool? I eventually figure it out, but it's like, I don't know why it took me so long to figure out this path. Because it's like, yeah, it's just not intuitive right now. It doesn't, you get a path, and you're only allowed to go up a certain amount and then down a certain amount. It's not really the greatest. So I mean, I figure it out in the end, but it takes a little bit. I mean, I do that first one, I'm like, that's not cool. We need a cool bridge for this. Also, connecting two path grids like this is so hard. I think I just get it by luck. I wish I knew earlier that you could copy and advanced move a path. I figured that one out in this episode, which is extremely helpful for trying to match up this other side. Because, like I said, it is not intuitive. A little frustrating, but we end up getting it. Literally trying everything I can think of here. Of course, it's too steep. Sorry for torturing you guys with me trying to match up this pathway. I'm like, okay, match it up there, bring it over, boom. Nope. You'd think it'd be that easy, but it's not. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, what the heck were they thinking with this tool? What were they thinking? And then I figure this out. And oh my God, am I so grateful for this new tool after that. So, I mean, it's funny how it pisses you off for the first 10 minutes of you doing it, and then you figure it out, you're like, yeah, this is better. This is a lot better. Here, I'm trying to build the bridge, and I'm like, okay. Round stairs. How do you do? How does one do? So I start, and I'm like, this looks absolutely terrible. Yep, not what I'm going for here. I think it's at this one where I say, yeah, this isn't gonna work. Nope, so better idea, delete, add a straight one. There we go. Now we're using the old noodle. This bridge is almost exactly how I built the other one, using this pillar. So we're gonna do the, I know there's a tool to build two sides at once, but I haven't really messed around with that yet. So what we're gonna do is build one side and then copy it over. Right now we're just framing the bridge. Get those angles looking nice. And that's looking really nice. So easy when you're using the correct angles and straight paths. So here's the fun part. We're gonna mess it up, try again, and we get it. No path selected. Good job. So now we got our bridge. We gotta arch it. You know, I'm a fan of Real Civil Engineer, the YouTube channel, and I believe this deserves a bridge review, honestly. We're doing a normal truss bridge. That's right. I know my bridge vocab thanks to him. And I get real smart with this. Can you get any better? Come on. Take the arch, copy it over. Now we get the pillar idea. We're gonna size these bad boys up, sink them in. I didn't mean to not have the supports off, but when I was building this and I saw that there was no supports, I was like, yes, less clicking I have to do. I know, very lame, but I was happy. I didn't have to reselect the path, take the supports out, because I like these custom supports better. Not really custom supports, but it's a bridge, so we're gonna have to make it look bridge-like. Once again, building on that grid, making everything even so we can just copy that over. Interesting. Give me just 1 second here. And sorry for that jump cut, but I recorded something on my screen of me looking at Facebook Marketplace. Classic, am I right? You only missed a little bit of this trussing. For those of you who aren't hip with the bridge lingo, trussing are these triangle pieces made to support the bridge and the archway. And of course we're going to take it, turn it, and copy it over to the other side, make it easy on us. That's looking really sick. Gonna add one more little piece, making sure that thing's really supported. We want our guests to be supported. Here I'm like, okay, maybe we add these, and I'm like, yeah, nope, not even worth it. Looks good. So we're gonna do the fun game of select everything, try not to hit a path. Do I get it first try? We get it. Let's go. So we're gonna copy that over, come back here, and I'm thinking, how are we going to finish out this bridge? I start with the pillars. I say nope. I remember in my last building, rope. These nice rope straight pieces. You really can't beat them. Really good piece. So here, of course, that angle doesn't match the angle of the stairs. You can't get lucky every time, but you know, I want to just make sure, and nope. Okay, so we're gonna have to turn the angle snap off. And that's good enough for me. Bring it up. Of course, it's not the same angle, so fix it up. And bring it right along. Now the next fun game of select tiny rope pieces without hitting a path, and boom, first try. We're gonna group that scenery because I've learned we're gonna group the scenery, and this makes it just so easy when times like that where I mess up and I have to grab it again and not select all the rope pieces. Yeah, I'm loving that. Loving it. Good job past me. You really did great on that. It's a nice bridge. So now we have all this space in between the trusses. I'm trying to think of how to close it off. And, you know, we just go straight rope. I think it looks nice in the end. You can't have anyone going through that bridge and off into the water. Fix that up. Well, I was not expecting that cut, but I guess I stopped recording for a second. Sorry about that. I guess we are adding some counters. I will be getting better at this recording thing. Pretty new to it. Hit boxes, you can't really ask for perfection in this game. So we're gonna do what we can. Add a counter to each one. I think the counters look really nice the way I'm making them with these window pieces. Kind of like a slotted wood look. And you know, these are just the details that no one is really gonna notice, but you want to put it in there just to have. Realizing the entrance doesn't have any doorway for the employees, so we're gonna figure out how to add an entrance to that. I think that looks great. Matches all the colors. Don't even need to change it. Very simple door. Looking good. Now everyone can get to work. Going back to the entrance, noticing the trim is not all the way there. So we're going to finish that out. Doing a little peek through. Love it. Trim's looking really nice now. Bringing the building together. Now we're looking good. Can't forget that window. So they can see all the hooligans running into the park. Looking good. And now I'm just looking at this thinking, what's next? Loving the look of it so far. I look up and I see, oh, we got some exposed ceilings, so we're gonna cap those off with a nice flat bamboo roof in there. So if you walk by, look at it, boom, you're not looking up into the guts. Looking good. I'm loving it. So this is about where I cut it. I am kind of just planning out this island. So I had this path just to see what it would look like, how we can get off of it, like divert from it, and how we can bring it all together. I'm thinking, there's going to be some roller coasters, various rides, but I don't quite know yet. I'm going to save the island feature for later video. The fence really helps. I can just say that fence, man, shoo. Whoever designed that thing needs a medal. And it looks like that's the end for me. But, that kind of and brings this episode number 2, to an end. Thank you all for coming by. If you're here still, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Show your love to the average roller coaster enthusiast. Peace!